Sadie.
Well, today I am going to change the front right wheel bearing on my 2001 Dodge Ram with the 5.9 Cummins. I changed the other side last year, and now the side's starting to make noise, so buckle up. Okay, I got the wheel off, and now we're gonna take off this caliper, which I need to go get a drop plate. But those bolts are here. We're gonna lighten it up. Nope, not gonna work. So the caliper comes off by those two star bolts. There's one there, and there's one down at the bottom, which I'm not sure you can even see that. Right there. And those star bolts, you need a 12.16 millimeter socket. And it also helps if you turn the wheels to the left a little bit, because then you can get a breaker bar back there. But I'll pop those off real quick, and then we'll have a look at the bearing. Okay, I got the brake caliper off, and I just had some of this green utility wire, set coated stuff. I use it for everything. But just hang the caliper won't fit in here. I used to have a Chevy pickup where the caliper would rest on this arm there. But just hang it, or put a block or something to just keep the tension off this brake hose. I'm replacing this anyway, so I don't really care, because I replaced the other side last year, and you know, I've had it, so I'm just gonna replace it. All right, we can pop this drum off now. I'll go get a big hammer for that, and then we'll be one step closer here. Alright, well, now the next step, I've got to take this castle nut off and this cotter key, and I believe this is a little shaft that slides in. I can't, no, I think this pops off of a shaft. There's a shaft on the other side of this yoke, if I remember correctly. And here's the wheel bearing right here. This is where the ABS sensor comes in right here, and you get to the nuts. I think it's the same 16 millimeter. Get the light here. There's four bolts there, back there, and they're not impossible to get to. Getting the bearing out of the steering knuckle is the hardest part, and there's a bunch of tricks that I didn't know about when I changed it last time. Last time I actually heated up the steering knuckle, which was probably a bad idea, but I was just desperate and just banging on this old bearing. So there is a trick where you can put a socket and an extension on the inside of these nuts after you back them out, and then pin it up against the frame or the axle, and then actually use this power steering to push the bearing out. So I think my buddy's coming over, and I think we're going to try that. So, all right, to get the castle nut off, you got to use an 1 11/16 socket, which I had to buy that last year. So get her popped off here. We had to heat up the castle nut with the torch, because it was seized on there like a mow. And now the wheel bearing, as far as I can tell, the wheel bearing is ready to come off. I'll probably disconnect the ABS sensor, which goes up into the cab, and undo these bolts and start beating and banging on this son of a bitch. And we found the ABS sensor connection. It's right there. It's the gray plug. So go ahead and unplug that rig and fish it out. It's underneath the air filter. I had to take off my heat shield that I made. That is it. Now we're going to take the bolt out of the back of the bearing, and it's a 9/16 12-point socket. Really wish I had an impact gun, because that would make this a lot easier, but I don't. Well, we tried to push the socket and the extension up against the axle with the power steering, and that was an epic failure. So now we're trying a gear puller, and we're going to pull the bolts out, and we'll probably end up using the torch again. Right?
Looks good.
Torch. Well, the torch was the key. So we just heated on it. I heated on the steering knuckle. Where's that light? My camera's not showing any light. I heated on the steering knuckle in between where that backing plate would let you. I heated on the corners. You can see I deformed it a little bit there. And it melted the ABS sensor. And my buddy was just whacking on it with a hammer, and it just decided to shift, and then we just didn't stop. We just kept throwing heat at the knuckle, and probably melted all the grease out of the ball joints and the tie rods, but we can re-grease them. And we'll probably have to clean the face up. Looks like I gouged it pretty good there with the chisel, which I didn't want to do. Yeah. So we'll have to file that down. But the hard part's done! You lose, bitch! Alright, we got the bearing and everything sanded. Anti-sieze on everything. And we're going to throw it on there and suck it in from the back with the nuts, and then run the ABS cable, and then we should be done. So I guess that's all. I'm not missing anything. I guess that's it. This is what I call never cease karma, because whoever takes this apart is really going to appreciate the never cease